Today, we're talking real life goals. I can't wait for you to meet this investor. Not only has she paid off all of her properties, that's right, her entire portfolio is debt-free. She's also used the money that she makes through her investment portfolio to put both of her kids through college. Isn't this what we do it for? Whether she is building her real estate empire, working her full-time job, running her side business, or leading her nonprofit where she is helping the community in Chicago, this investor is going to let us know we're not doing enough with our 24 hours. Stay tuned for this week's episode of the Aid to Assets podcast. Welcome to the Aid to Assets podcast, the ultimate podcast for aspiring real estate investors. I'm your host, Tiffany Watson. Join me as we discuss real estate investing for 9-to-5ers. We'll talk about everything from money mindsets and property ownership and different strategies you can use to invest in real estate. I want to empower investors, especially those of us who are working full-time, who want to navigate the world of real estate, uncover the secrets to building wealth, generate passive income to achieve financial freedom. Equip yourself with resources from experts, practical tips, and step-by-step guides on how to kickstart your real estate journey. We'll also hear from 9-to-5ers who started to build their own portfolios, what they did and how they did it, so you can do it too. Tune in and transform your main job into your biggest silent investor in your real estate investment business. This is your Aid to Assets. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another amazing episode of the Aid to Assets podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Watson, where here I get to interview current and former 9-to-5ers who have made the pivot into real estate investing so you can hear their stories and their strategies because all of us are getting to the closing table. And y'all, I am so excited about my guest today. Listen, when I tell y'all sis is doing it all, sis is doing it all. And I want y'all to know, y'all know one of my favorite lines around here. We got the same 24 hours as Beyonce. Listen to how Veronica tells us about how she spends her 24 hours, okay? Veronica, how you doing, girl?
Hey, I'm fine, and you, Tiffany?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for being a guest on the show today. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here and to share information with your audience.
Love it. So before we get started, we love to go ahead and start with receipts. So that way people know why they need to make sure they hit that like and subscribe button. Never miss an episode. So tell us a little bit about your real estate portfolio. What it's looking like these days.
So right now I have about 12 properties.
Okay.
In real estate.
Got it. 12 properties. Yes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes. 2 in Michigan, 2 in Philly, and then the rest in Chicago.
2 in Michigan, 2 in Philly, the rest in Chicago. So we are a tri-state investor. Come on. Now, in addition to managing these 12, and you manage your properties yourself, correct?
Yes, unfortunately. At this time, I'm currently managing.
So we got 12 properties. We're self-managing. And what else you do? Because there's more to it.
Yes. So I'm going to stay on real estate and I'm going to get off real estate. I'm also renovating, rehabbing one of the properties, working with an architect for the first time. So designing it out, that has its own challenges. So in addition to that, I'm an accountant full-time for Waltz Construction. And then I have a tax business. So I do taxes on the side. So of course, this is my busy season. I have a non-for-profit. It's called Help from a Sister. That's my way of giving back and doing activities in the community. I do book bag giveaways, just different things to give back to the community that helped me become this young lady that I am.
Remember what I told y'all about them 24 hours? So again, y'all already know from the beginning in the comments, no excuses. Absolutely no excuses. So Veronica, take me back. When did you first start investing in real estate?
I'm going to say it was in 1999. My dad helped me get my first 3-flat on 64th and May in Chicago.
Okay. And Chicago, y'all have a lot of multifamilies. That's really common there, right?
Yes, definitely it is.
Okay. So you came out the gate being a landlord. Tell us, what was that like?
It was a challenge. Even though my dad was in real estate, it was a challenge because people he used to do work, you had to pay them and babysit them. I'm not used to it. I want to pay you. I need you to do your job. So it took me 1 year. I got on a roof. It was a flat roof on a 3 flat that needed some tarring. So I'm like, wait a minute, if I'm paying you now, I'm getting up here. I need to see exactly what you're doing and how you're doing it. My dad had a whole fit, like get my daughter off that roof. But I got up there. I had renovations for a bathroom. A tenant, my property was in Inglewood. The mindset in some people in Inglewood at that time was not to pay rent. It was to do enough to get in your place. And then now I can stand here for a year and don't pay you anything. Not only do they do that, they also tear it up on their way out. Now you got to let the insurance company know and fix it up. So it was a lot of lessons I learned early.
Yes.
But it was also a lot of traits. I know how to do ceramic tile. I know how to patch a wall up. Yes, I know how to do all that.
What? So you was working, so you was on top of roofs, you was patching walls. I love it. Now, what made you decide that you were going to get not tri-level, it's a flat. So the 3 unit versus a regular, just like single family property?
I wanted multiple streams of income. So 1 unit, 1 house, you just get 1. 3 units, I'm getting income from 3.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah, it helped me also raise my kids. That was my additional income.
Wow. Because also, y'all, sis is a mom too. Yes. So we're thinking about how are we going to have all these different streams of income without pulling you away from being a mother.
Correct. And my kids was right there with me. I had taught them and showed. Matter of fact, my daughter, one of my properties, I fixed it up and sold it to her. So she got her first piece of property from me.
Yes, legacy. Oh, I love it. Okay, so for those that may not be as familiar, because you talked about a little bit how sometimes in Chicago you do have tenants who the goal is to get in and then they can go a year without paying rent. For those that aren't familiar with the landlord laws there, can you explain a little bit more about why that is common knowledge or why that's common practice? Excuse me.
Oh, for people that's trying to get over and don't want to pay their way. So now, what I did learn is a valuable lesson. If you're trying to take a tenant to court, you don't worry about the outstanding amount they owe because they get to continue saying, hey, I'm not for sure that's the amount I owe. Or let me check my records. All this is stalling tactics that can get you a continuance in court. Every month they have something different or they don't show up. Now you got to go to court again. Your goal is to go in and say, I don't want the money. I just need that person out. Once they get that, then the judge will give you, I think, 21 days and you get your place back. I had to learn that the hard way. It took years.
Got it. Okay. So because of squatter laws in the area, then people have now kind of found a way to finesse the system. So if we make it about money, then you're having to verify documentation and amounts and all of that when it's like, actually, nope, I just need them to vacate the property.
Exactly. Yes.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay. So we started out with this three unit in 1999. Talk to me about where we moved from there. How did we continue to build?
So from there and all the hiccups that went on at 2004, I sold that property and was like, you know what? I don't think I want to be a landlord. I'm good. I'm just going to buy my own house and I'm going to focus on this. So I did 2004. I leased the house. 2008, I purchased another house. And from there, 2009, I decided to buy my third property, which was an investment property. And that's when I went back full time into real estate.
So what made you buy in 2009, especially when that year so many people were freaking out about real estate?
Oh, because the market was down. It was easy to get in then. And the way I actually go in and buy property is I use my savings. Or another hack that most people don't know about is Bank of America has 2 credit cards. They have a cash rewards card and a travel rewards card. If you're in good standing with them, I can go and pull 30 to 40,000 off each card, and I'm only paying a 3% conversion fee. And they give me a year to pay it back. No interest. So I used that money and went and bought another property and fixed it up. So now when I'm buying property, I'm buying it, I'm fixing it up. I'm not using nobody else's money but mine. And then once I'm done with that, I go to the next one and keep going until I looked up last year and realized like, wow, I actually purchased over 13 properties and I have 12.
Wow. That is so good. So y'all, you hear often people talk about like OPM or other people's money. The bank is one of those people. And so there are ways in which you can strategically position yourself to leverage the money that you can get available from the banks to then invest in property. And so that is a fantastic strategy if you're responsible and can use the credit cards the right way. Now, talk to us about what was the first property out of state? How did that come about and what made you decide you were going to do that?
My son pushed me to that. The first property out of state was in Philly.
Okay.
It was a single family home. And actually both houses in Philly are single family homes. So his mentor presented the deal and he's like, Mom, come on, let's just try it. I said, okay, let's see. And that's what we did.
Now, so that means your son, you said his mentor did it. So is your son also in real estate too?
He is. And my kids are grown now. So they grew up seeing me do real estate. And yeah, he has a passion for it. He's helping me with this new project as well, because we're the GCs on it.
Yes, very cool. So tell us a little bit about that. How was it getting your kids involved and kind of seeing the vision of real estate?
I'm going to say it wasn't that hard because they saw growing up, like my son used to have to go over and clean up the yards and shovel the snow, mow the lawn. Like, hey, his 16-year-old, he had a car 16. Okay, well, you are responsible for going to these properties and straighten up.
Wow. Putting them in. And so as an accountant, we're going to get to that accounting piece in a second, but we putting our kids on payroll is what I'm hearing and getting some of those tax benefits.
I didn't use them for the tax benefit. I probably should have, but no, this is a way to earn your extra money. So I didn't use it as a benefit, and I should have, now that I'm thinking about it. I taught them about credit. They knew about credit cards. They had their first credit card at 12.
Wow. What made you decide to get them a credit card then?
Because I needed them to understand how to use credit. Use it like it's cash. It's not like it's somebody else's money. Because when you're using it like it's somebody else's money, now you're paying interest on that money. But if you use it like it's cash, you're not paying interest. You're getting the perks and the benefits of using it. So I didn't want them to wait till they're in college to start using credit. And they fall in a lot of traps that most young people do. Spending it, don't pay it back, and now it messes you up. So it was teaching them about credit and also making sure they go to college and I paid for their college. So they walked away with a degree with no debt.
Come on, listen. And that, I feel like parents, if that ain't on your goal list, I don't even have kids yet, but if I absolutely have a goal of being able to pay for my kids to go to college if they choose to do so, and to be able to give them a house. Veronica, you real life goals out here, sis. Like, you real life goals.
Yes, that is so true.
That is so cool. Okay, so we're teaching them the money habits. We're actually letting them come out to see the properties in real life and be a part of helping to keep them. So tell me, how are you doing all of this and going to work and being a mother? Because that's one of the biggest questions that we get from a lot of folks is real estate is a whole new language. I don't know what I'm doing. And I already have this full-time job that takes up so much of my time. Talk to us a little bit about that.
It's planning every minute of my day. My day starts back then it was probably 4:35 in the morning. I had to be at work from 6 to 3 work. And not only that, my kids had activities too. They were in sports year round. And I was going to school on and off. So it was just managing every minute of my time. Like I didn't have free time to waste. Everything was, this is my schedule. Boom, boom, boom.
Got it. Now, what were you spending your time doing while you were still working, while you were still just kind of getting started?
You know what? Investing in, what is it called? Personal development. I love Dave Ramsey, live like no one else. And that was my motto, even with my kids. We live like no one else. Like, what does that mean? If everybody else doing it, we can't do it. We have to budget and stay consistently on a budget. So therefore, when we're not on a budget, we always on a budget because it's so grained in. Like we're so used to this plan, we can't deliberate from it.
Right. I love that. And that's one of my favorite quotes from Dave Ramsey, like live like no one else now so you can live like no one else later. I think that is so key and critical. And so one of the things that you've been able to do to truly live like no one else is not only do you have these 12 properties, but they're all paid off. Is that right?
I don't have no debt, zero debt.
What? So wait a minute, because I just need folks to make sure that they hear what you're saying. We're starting out getting these properties, even if there's potential work that needs to be put in them, from a credit card. And then you've also been able to pay them all off. How? How are we doing this?
Strict budget, like it's no variation. This is how we're going to do it. Plan it out and then walk accordingly. Any extra money, of course, because I do taxes on the side. Mm-hmm. And I have a tax business. I mean, I've had several different types of businesses. I had a trucking company, a factoring company. I don't know where I get the time.
I was about to listen because I was asking. That was going to be.
But I do say 9:30 at night, I'm shutting down.
Really?
I'm out of it, yes.
We're not pulling all-nighters?
No, not at all. But I am up at 4:30 in the morning, start with prayer and meditation and asking God to direct my day. Whoever's meant for me to have a conversation with, Lord, bring them into my path. Let's make this happen. But, I'm going to shut down and I'm going to see you in the morning. And then I thank them for ordering my steps at night and keep me safe to the morning.
I love it. Where did the entrepreneurial spirit come from?
I'm probably going to say my dad.
Yeah? Tell me more about Dad.
Oh, my dad is an amazing person. He's been in real estate on and off. Now, my dad tackles real estate a little different than I do. I kind of take a property and I work with it until I'm done. I might get one when I'm close. My dad will take 5 properties.
Oh, wow.
But now he's not able to finish all of them. So now it's like, okay, well, they come to get this one or they doing that. So his way of doing real estate was totally different. But it helped me become the person I am because I know that's not the way that I want to do it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Got it. Now, so when you were going through and looking at properties, trying to decide what was going to be a good fit for you, how did you determine this is one that I need to invest in? Hey, y'all, Tiffany here. Are you looking to purchase or sell real estate? As you know, I'm your aide to assets, and I want to help you with all of your real estate endeavors. Whether you're local here like me in the Fayetteville, North Carolina area, I can then help you purchase or sell your next property. If you're looking to purchase or sell outside of North Carolina, let me know too. I can still help you. I have a team of agents all over the country that I can connect you with to partner on your next deal. Let's get to the closing table, y'all. We buy our way to wealth, whether that's buying right or selling better. Can't wait to hear from you. Click on the link in the bio if you want more information on how to personally work with me or an agent on my team. Talk to you soon.
I'm very good at negotiation when I go look at a property and just assessing it based on what I think and feel. And then I research the area. And I'm going to say mainly I lowball the person with the offer. But I let them know once my attorney say we're good, I can close within 2 weeks. So if you're trying to wait for somebody to get the mortgage or do all this, you're wasting time. The last property I bought, they wanted $50,000 for it. And I have a couple of, I have definitely my own real estate attorney that I use for all my deals. I have realtors. And what I've learned about realtors, they want to make money and I want them to make money. So let me get the property at the price I want. And then when I sell it, I'm going to come back to you. So I had a situation with my realtor for this last property. They wanted like $49,000 for it. I said, okay, I'll put it on the contract for $35,000. My realtor didn't like it. And I was like, okay. But I learned that once I get it under the contract, my realtor no longer speaks for me. My attorney does. So I go get an inspection. Most people don't want to pay for the inspection. I would tell anybody, pay for the inspection. You can save an additional $10,000 to $30,000 on any deal just for having an inspection.
Right.
So after I got it under contract, I went and I did the inspection. I knew it was a fire in there. I knew some of the things, right? But the inspector gave me some more ammo. And I used that to say, yeah, I need an additional $15,000 off this property. My attorney.
Hold on. What? Nah, come back in that camera. Wait, you said you got it under contract for $35,000. And then after the inspection, you told them you needed an additional $15,000 off?
I need an additional $15,000 off.
What'd they say?
My attorney, first of all, was like, Veronica, are you for real? I said, yeah, the only thing they can tell me is yes or no. He took
True.
them the deal. They said yes, and we closed within 7 days. And my last property I got for $20,000. That's the one I'm rehabbing.
Okay, you got to tell us about the property. We need the details. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? How many square feet? Am I going to Chicago? What?
It's on 108th in Edbrook. It's a 2-flat, 3 bedrooms on the second floor. I think it was 3 bedrooms on the first floor, and then the basement. So now I'm changing it. It's going to be 4 bedrooms on the second floor, 2 or 3 on the first floor, and then the basement, I'm making it into a duplex. So then the basement and the first floor is going to be connecting, and it's going to be 2 down there.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you bought a duplex for $20,000?
Well, I bought 2 flats recently that I'm turning into a duplex. Yes.
What is happening in Chicago? What? I mean, I knew it was some deals, and I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous, like, because of what you mentioned. So I'm in the South. North Carolina, we are super landlord friendly state, and that is one of my fears. But $20,000? So let's talk about the rehab, because that's crazy. Because I mean, the dirt is worth $20,000. So it doesn't really matter what kind of condition it was in, but you're talking a rehab that you're doing. So what's the scope of work? Like, how are we talking a full gut? What are we doing with this property?
Full gut. And we tore down the back porch. It was an enclosed back porch, tore down. It's going to be an outside back porch. I'm working with the architect. He actually just submitted the drawings to the city. I've had 2 architects on the job, but so yeah, it's the project overall is probably going to cost about $170,000 to finish to build out. So based on my projections for the area right now, there's homes selling for like $325, between $250 and $325. When I'm done, I want this property to be valued at $350,000.
Wow! So $170 all in, and be valued $200,000 more.
Well, no, it's $170 for the rehab. I had to buy it and do the demo and everything. So I'll probably be out of pocket, worst case scenario, about $225.
Okay. Got it. Wow. Now, for those that aren't familiar, tell them a little bit more about what it means to be working with an architect and why that is an important step that you're taking.
This is my first time working with an architect. I just want to understand the process. And we've had some conversations about the way he wants to design my vision. And I've had to let him know, like, no, that's not the way I want it. Like, I need you to do exactly what I'm asking you to do. And it's good to work with an architect. So therefore, now when you're working with the subcontractors, you're giving them the design on how it needs to be, where the electrical sockets are, where the light switches should go, where you want the sink, the faucet. Now, in the past, I went to Home Depot. And Menards offer the same service. You can give them the square footage of your kitchen or bathroom, and they can give you the 3D printout. Well,
wow.
I still have... Yes, you can go and they can design it for you in Home Depot. So you have the printout, but it doesn't tell them what electrical sockets go or different things, the plumbing. So now eventually I want to go and do an area, a neighborhood. Like I want to buy.
Yes, come on, developer.
Exactly. That's the next phase. But I'm like, well, I have to learn how to work with an architect before I get to that level. So I'm trying to go in the different steps to get me prepared for my ultimate goal.
I love that. That's so cool. I'm in the middle of a deal right now with a good friend of mine in New Jersey. And so it's the same thing. The house had a fire, and so complete full gut. And we are working with the architect who is completely like doing the lay of the land for the contractors and everything. And my partner, she's amazing, and she created the whole vision. She's like, I already knew what I wanted to look like. I know, I just need you to draw these plans and get it approved by the city. Jersey's crazy with their approvals and stuff. And so it's so cool to get to see all the different pieces that can be included in projects like this. I love it. Now, tell me about your first rehab. What gave you the courage? Because now you're doing full guts. So typically, that's not how people start. What gave you the courage in the beginning to even start taking on rehab projects?
Okay, I'm gonna say it's my cousin was looking for a house. His credit wasn't as good, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna fix it up. I'm gonna sell it to you. I'm gonna be the mortgage company.
Come on. Listen, this what it's about. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
So from there, he found the place. I helped him. I mean, I sent him to look at places. We found the place and we started doing the work. And I actually started with a guy who was going to be the GC on the job. And some way he fell off. And I'm like, oh man, I got to try to figure this out because I already got the place. He did the roof for me, which was good. I tore out a wall, making the kitchen bigger, like just trying to do what I wanted to do without the architect drawing. And I was able to get it done. So I had to piecemeal and get people to come in to help. And from there, my son actually helped me with the hardwood floors to strip them and sand them down. So I'm telling you, each project I learned something new.
Yeah.
This project, I learned how to work with hardwood floors. So after I did it, I'm like, wow, okay, I can do this again. I was trying to get a team of people. So I have a real good handyman that, he'll come in. He knows how to do a lot. But, yeah, so that's how I started my first project. It was a house, a single family home that when we finished, I'm like, wow, this is nice. So that's when I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this. I can do both and get more equity because for my first property, I think I paid about $49,000 for that house. It's worth about 200 and some thousand now.
Wow. Y'all, listeners, I just want to make sure that y'all understand there's so much that I love about this because one, there was a need that a family member had and you were able to step in and provide that need. And like, that is the freedom when we talk about why we do this. It is being able to be an answer to someone else's problem. And so I love that. And then also the ways in which cause you like, we gonna put this floor down. We gonna get to it. So that tenacity of, even though I don't know, like I can't see the whole staircase, I'm gonna still take these 2 steps and see what it kind of gives me. And we just gonna keep climbing. That is phenomenal. Now, where are you learning? Because, okay, you get the house and then it's like, oh, I gotta put some floors down. Like, how are you figuring out along the way? What does that process look like for you?
I love YouTube. YouTube is amazing. I even look, if I pay someone to do something, I go watch it on YouTube to see if it's the proper way of doing it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't see that on YouTube. Why are you doing it that way? And ask them to help me understand. So,
yeah, YouTube University is where it's at.
Yes, the lessons I learned early on was, if I'm paying a person to do something, I need to have an understanding of, because a person can they have taken my money several times and not done the work properly. Now I got to pay somebody else to come do what they did. But if I have a little knowledge on what they're supposed to be doing, I can point like, nah, I don't think that's right. Do that over. Or thank you, I don't need you. I'm going to get somebody else to help.
Right. Okay. So let's now shift gears a little bit and talk about with your experience as an accountant. So one of the reasons why we talk a lot on this show about the benefits of being property owners, especially for those of us who are still working 9 to 5, but trying to figure out, I say regularly, Uncle Sam has never led a meeting for me at all, yet he gonna get paid first. And I just have a problem with that. So can you talk to us a little bit about the benefits of why we should consider real estate to help us not only just get an additional stream of income, but also to help us keep more of the money we're getting on our full-time jobs?
Oh, definitely. It's a tax write-off. If a person, don't get me wrong, it's not good not to receive rent from a person or the cost of the rehab, but all that's a line item on my expenses. On my Schedule E, I have the property. I have the maintenance that I have. So you can either perform the maintenance or you can pay somebody. Either way, you need to put it on your taxes. There's a write-off for that. There are so many when it comes to property, but I'm going to say majority of it is the interest that you pay, that's deductible. What you're paying a contractor, that's deductible. It's a list.
Yeah. And so for those who may not have not had deductions like this before, how does that impact their taxes? Why is that a good thing to be aiming to have?
Oh, because now it lowers your adjusted gross income. It's coming straight off your bottom line. So therefore, that's less you're paying taxes on. So say, for instance, you make, I'm going to say 70,000 and you bought a property, 20,000. That's an asset. It's taking 20,000 off your tax liability. So now it puts you at 50,000. Then whatever your exemptions are, that takes you down. Now you're in a 10 to 15% tax range just off that. That's not including the rehab that you're going to do and the upgrades, because that's another area. Those upgrades, you can amortize them over a period of time, 10 years, right? That's additional money coming out before you even do your taxes. Every year it's a certain amount. So
Yes, y'all. So understand, when we talk about being real estate investors, I can't say it enough. We are buying businesses, and our country was built off of business owners. And so when you are lowering your adjusted gross income, that means you're putting yourself in a lower tax bracket. The more money you make, the more you are going to get taxed. And Uncle Sam is coming to get his money. And so this is a way to be able to offset that. So that way you're in a lower tax bracket. And so then you're having to pay less taxes. And this is not advocating to not pay taxes and not contribute. Just don't give a tip. Like, we don't need to give a tip on the money we already got to give to the government. I love it. Okay.
True.
Go ahead.
So I was going to mention one more thing. So then, say for instance, you're in my situation where you buy the property, you fix it up. There's a capital gain tax on that additional 125. I can fill out I think it's a 1030 exchange to say, hey, I'm going to use that money to buy more property with. I'm not going to pull it down. So now I'm not paying capital gains tax on that. I'm taking it and investing in another property. That's another asset that I can write off.
Yes. And these assets are making you money every month. So not only, this is why we say you buy your way to wealth. We can spend money. It's just, what are you spending your money on? And so I would rather spend my money on something that is going to help me lower my tax bill while still providing more income for me. And I don't have no kids. I don't have no write-offs. So I needed to figure out something. And this was a way to be able to do that. So that way I can be more in control of my finances. I love it. Now, you mentioned professional development or personal development. That was really important to you as you went across this journey. What would you say were one or two areas where you really needed to lean in order to build the portfolio that you have now?
I had to change my mindset. So to believe in myself, to know that I can accomplish this by myself. I'm not married yet. I'm saying yet. So I had 2 kids.
Me too, girl.
So it was just saying, most people are doing it as a couple or with other people. No, I had to do it by myself, but I couldn't look at all the things I didn't have. I don't have it yet. Okay, well, it shouldn't stop me. Let's just go and try to figure it out. Keep working towards it. So my biggest thing is I had to change my mindset and to believe in me, say, you can get this done, right? It's not that hard. You can do it. And that's how I tell myself about any and everything that comes up. Like, you can do it. Because whatever I tell myself is how I'm going to go. If I say it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard. But if I say, no, I can get this done, it's not a problem, then the universe helped me and say, hey, she can get this done. Let's give her the tools, the resources, and she going to make it happen. So that would be my biggest takeaway, would be that. And then the second one would be finding mentors and people that's already doing it. So therefore, I can acquire some of that information, learn the language, learn how to go to 4 different websites in the city of Chicago to research property. So I'm not going off what my realtor is telling me. I'm doing my own research as well.
I love that, because as a realtor myself, I tell my clients regularly, I can't do your research for you, because at the end of the day, I'm not closing this deal. And so as a realtor, I feel like I'm everything from a therapist to a counselor to a prayer partner to all those things, because it can be a real journey. And so that mindset piece is so critical that you mentioned, because it can be really terrifying to close on these properties, to spend this much money. For most of us, these are the biggest purchases we'll ever make in life. And so that takes a lot of faith and a lot of belief in ourselves and our abilities. And having research to back up why we believe what we believe just makes it stronger. So that is such good advice. Yeah. Okay. Now, before we wrap up, tell us about this nonprofit that you also managed to find time to do in your free time. How did that get started? And tell us about the work that you're doing?
Okay, awesome. Help from a sister. I started during the pandemic in 2020. My brother came to me and was like, sis, for my birthday, I want to feed the homeless. I'm like, you sure? He like, yes. I said, okay. I said, well, what's the budget? He gave me a budget of about $2,000. I went to Amazon, researched everything, and within 3 hours, I had planned out how we were going to feed the homeless, get them care packages and food in the areas we were going to. And after we did it, I'm like, wow, this is so rewarding. I'm like, I need to make it more official. So that was May 29th, June 29th. I had my I didn't have the 501c. I was incorporated for my non-for-profit. And then I went through the 501c process. But yeah, I have a licensed 501c non-profit, which this is the way I give back. So what we've done so far is provided over 3,200 book bags filled with school supplies. So first year I started was $250. The second year, $500. Last year, $1,000. This year is $1,000. I've taken kids to the circus for the last 2 years. For Christmas, I've given away over 250 toys to kids that need it. I host a monthly meeting at my office on the third Friday of every month from 7 to 9. It's any and everything surrounding entrepreneurship. If a person say, hey, I want to start a business, I don't know what to do or who to go around to talk to about it, come. We have it on Zoom and in person where we just talk about everything we're doing and we help someone else that wants to try. And then on the first Friday of every month is everything non-for-profit. From 1 to 2, I teach people on how to start their own non-for-profit, tell them some things that I've learned and some things that I'm doing. So
wow.
Help from a sister.
Help from a sister. Y'all, that will be in the description so you can learn more about the work that is being done in the community. Even go ahead and donate. All that information will be in the details. Veronica, this has fed my soul. Like, I can't even say how amazing you are. And I want to make sure to give you your flowers because to be able to, like, building a portfolio in itself is not easy. There's so many challenges with entrepreneurship, but you are killing the game on so many fronts and still serving your community and showing up every day. And that is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Okay. So last thing, one of the things that we love to do here on the show, we are vision setters. And so we say, when we look back and watch this episode a year, 3 years from now, what's going to be true for you and your business?
Awesome. You said about 3 years from now? I want to be a developer. So I want to plan an area that I'm going to acquire and start building on.
I love it. I love it. So we're going to see your own community come into life.
Yes, in the city of Chicago, where I was born and raised.
In your hometown. Yes, absolutely. Chicago, y'all gonna be well taken care of. Y'all just can't be once she builds it, y'all gotta stay and pay your rent though. That's the only thing. Oh my gosh. Well, Veronica, thank you so much for coming on and telling us your story. You have given us a lot of good information. And so we are so thankful to have you on the Aid to Assets podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. I'm so appreciative.
Absolutely. Well, y'all, this has been another amazing episode of the Aid to Assets podcast. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button here at the bottom. In the comments, tell us what's one strategy that Veronica gave away that you definitely want to look more into. I can't wait to see you at the closing table. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to another insightful episode of Aid to Assets. Remember, your journey from 9 to 5er to successful real estate investor is within reach. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep investing in your future. If you'd like to know more, connect with me on Instagram at Aid to Assets. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Until next time, happy investing.